Hi folks, doing this, which I think is Paranormal 8. If it's not, you're probably going to find 3 or 4 Paranormal 8s. I think we're on Paranormal 8. Paranormal as such, just sort of the experience that I had, which was a strange one for me actually. I'll tell you a little bit about the place before I go on to that. Living in the north west of England now. I used to live at one time in the north east, which is that way. And just up the road from where I live, we're sort of fairly countryside-ish. There's a little village called Bothal, and as I go along I shall put a little photograph in here and there, so you'll see. There should be one coming up. Bothal. So yeah, it's a little tiny village. You could walk through it just like that without blinking. It's very, as far as I remember, I can only remember one road going in and out, but that was a few years back. So it's little, and there was a castle there, which I'll show you the picture of the castle. I never actually went to see that myself, so I don't know if it was a castle per se or whether it was a big house like Scotland. These big houses are called castles. I got a feeling it was a small castle, but we'll have a look at a photograph. So yeah, that was there. We used to go for a walk there, probably take kids and have a nice pleasant walk, especially if it was nice. And as you got into Bothal, the road went round. On this corner here there was a churchyard with a church in it, and I believe it's called St Andrew's, and you'll see a few pictures of St Andrew's. It always struck me, the church, because you might understand what I'm talking about. I've just gone by bloody films that I watch. It also reminded me of a little Mexican church, just for the fact at this end of it, there wasn't such a thing as like a spire like you see on churches. There's this little thing that come up and like that on this end, and there was some gaps in it, and in each gap there was a bell. Just reminded me of a little Mexican church when you'd see it in a cowboy film or something. That's what it reminded me of. Anyway, that was there. And we'd walk past that, and the castle up there, and greenery, whatever that side, and there was a pathway going down, and we'd walk down this little pathway, not very far, and it would go down to this this stream, and you could paddle across the stream. You wouldn't have got much of yourself wet. But there was these concrete blocks that, like stepping stones, and we spent a lot of times going there and just having fun walk and that. And you'll see a picture of that as well. But yeah, that's where we used to go. That was the point of us going there. And we went past this church many times. Like I said, I liked it. It was sort of a unique little church. Never felt to sort of have anything to do with it as such. And one day we were on this walk. We had a friend and his wife come along, and we walked past that. I don't know if it was on the way down or whether on the way back. And my friend said, "Oh, let's go and have a look at the church." Now, I love churchyards. It was one of my first memories of, I've said before, going into a churchyard with my grandmother tending the grandfather's grave and enjoying being there and the things we did not. So I've always enjoyed going in churchyard and that peaceful places as such. I don't have to tell you that to her. Anyway, yeah, let's go and have a look. So we walked in, and the pathway goes up to that end of the church that you saw in the picture there, the end with the bells. And we went to the right, the path went to the right of it, up that side. I wanted to have a look at the door, see if we could see in, but it was obviously nobody there, so you couldn't go in to have a look. And as I was walking down the side, I just didn't feel good about it. It wasn't like just a pleasant little trip next to a church, but I didn't feel great. And then when we got to the bottom end of it, you might see photographs of the churchyard. But I'm thinking, as I remember it, when we got down the side of the church, got to the bottom, I can just remember it going down that way. Not too wide and going down that way. Grass wasn't neatly mown anyway, it was quite. And as I was getting to the end of the church, I just didn't like it. And we got to the end, looked at this, everybody said, "Oh great, let's go and have a look." So that they went ahead, and I must have been going slow because of this feeling, and they were getting further and further, and I was following, and they got probably 3/4 of the way down. I got probably less than a third, and it was just flipping overwhelming. And each step I took a little bit further, it just got worse, thicker, worse, till I just come to a stop. And that day and this day on, I still say that there's something with that graveyard, because I all the ones I've ever been in, I have never had that. From the moment walking in the gate to there was bad enough, but when I got there, somebody, I'm assuming somebody, didn't want me going further than there. I could have pushed it, I could have probably walked right to the end, but the feeling was so flipping bad. I just couldn't, in the end I just had to shout and say, "I'll see you out there." So yeah, it's not a big paranormal thing. I'm not saying I saw weird and wonderful things or anything, but it was definitely a paranormal experience. It was one that I still remember. Could have been yesterday, day before. That's how tangent it was, how real that experience was. I just felt that either somebody pure evil was buried in there, just didn't want me going down, or somebody had been messing around in there doing weird and wonderful things. And I was picking all that up and everything. I don't know, but something definitely was trying to stop me going further, and maybe seeing things, looking into things. I don't know, but it was going. Just flipping stuff here. And a little bit to add to that really was, years later, I was chatting to somebody online and talking about it, and unbeknown to me, while I was chatting, they was Googling or something, and they looked up Bothal and the Churchyard and what had gone on. Now, like I said, this was a while back. I sort of took it in, I didn't. But they found that there was a lot of really strange stuff had been going on in Bothal at sometime in the past. There was murders and all sorts, and it would have probably made a good flipping suspense program or a series play or something for TV. But yeah, I can't remember what it was now, but it was something pretty sinister going back, and I seem to remember there was a lot of killing and all sorts. So whether that's connected to that or not, I don't know. I never felt it outside the churchyard, outside the church precinct, the wall, whatever. There, Onkidori. Look at it. Wow, fantastic little place. Step over that threshold. Didn't like it. Would I want to go back and walk down there again just to find out? Not really, to be honest. It wasn't pleasurable. So if there's a really logical reason for me to do it, possible. But all in all, no. Sometimes I've said before, leave well alone. Been there, done that. I don't particularly fancy doing it again. I'm sure I'll just get what I got the first time, but no, it's I can remember it. It wasn't pleasant. I really wouldn't want to do that again. So, folks, if any of you are ever in this country or visit the country, Northumberland, and you happen to be at Bothal and you see that little Mexican sort of looking church, try and remember it. Go in and have a look yourself. Let me know. But whatever you do, don't do what I wouldn't do. And I won't bloody go down there. Telling you. Up to you. Catch you later.